Hi boys and girls, it's Miss Baracos here with you today for our read aloud, and I'm going to be reading you one of my very favorites. It's called I Need My Monster. I Need My Monster. And he's looking under his bed for a monster. Monsters under your bed aren't real though. I need my monster. Look, he's drawing a picture of a monster down here as well. Tonight, when I looked under my bed for my monster, I found this note instead. Gone fishing. Back in a week. Gabe. What was I going to do? I needed a monster under my bed. How was I supposed to get to sleep if my monster was gone? I tried to sleep, but it wasn't the same without Gabe. I missed his ragged breathing, his nose whistling, the scrabbling of his uncut claws. How would I ever get to sleep without Gabe's familiar scary noises and his spooky green ooze? It was no use. Gabe would be gone for a week, and I just had to have a monster. I climbed quietly out of bed so my parents wouldn't hear me. Grown-ups have some strange ideas about monsters under beds. I knocked on the floorboards, then scrambled back under the covers, and I waited nervously. Would a new monster appear? What would he look like? Would his snorting be as cheerful as Gabe's? I wonder. You think one's going to appear? Oh, here we go. Do you see these eyes and the snout down here? Looks like a little horn. Can you picture in your mind what the monster's going to look like? When I heard the creaking under my bed, I knew the substitute monster had arrived.
Good evening, said a low, breathy voice. My name is Herbert, and I will be your monster for the evening.
Herbert? What kind of a name is Herbert for a monster? You don't sound scary at all. Have you ever scared a kid before?
Well, no, but I have read all the best books about the topic.
Do you have long teeth and scratchy claws, I asked.
No, but I have an overbite, and I'm a mouth breather. Listen.
Herbert's panting was kind of scary, but it wasn't enough for me. All right, let's see what happens next. Oh, look at this guy. He's got very long whiskers and a big pot belly. Let's see if it's enough to scare him this time. Listen, Herbert. I'm very sorry. I just don't think this is going to work. It's nothing personal, but I really need a monster that has claws. Picky, Herbert complained. As you wish. I'll go. There was some more creaking, and then Herbert was gone. Some scratching warned me that a second monster had appeared. Good evening, said a high, silky voice. My name is Ruff. I understand you need a monster with claws. If you would please lean over, I will hold out an arm for inspection. He also has lots of eyes. I crouched to the edge of the bed, hoping to see a horribly shaggy arm with sharp, ragged nails. Do you think he saw that? Let's find out. Oh, look at these. Instead, I was surprised to see chicly brushed fur with smooth, shiny claws. Excuse me, I don't want to be rude, I asked. Isn't that nail polish on your claws? Yeah, it is, Ralph replied. I believe professional monsters should always be well groomed. I could tell that this was not going to work either. I'm sorry to disappoint you, Ralph, but I need a monster with scary claws, like Gabe's, I thought. I heard some more scratching, and I knew Ralph was gone. Let's see what monster comes next. A minute later, a third voice came from under the bed, rasped, "Check out these claws, kid." I gathered my courage and peered over the edge. The claws were very impressive, and dark and razor sharp. So far, so good. I was a little bit nervous. "Could you stick out your tail?" I whispered. Sure, but don't get scared. Uh-oh. Let's see what his tail looks like. Oh my goodness. That is a very, very long tail. It goes all the way under the bed and around the other side, up onto the bed. I peeked through my fingers at the slimy, tall, slithering over the foot of my bed. That's when I noticed the bow. "A girl monster?" "Of course I am," she snapped. "I'm Cynthia. Do you have a problem with that?" Yeah, I do," I admitted. "I definitely need a boy monster. And boy monsters are for boys, and girl monsters are for girls. Everybody knows that." "Well, aren't you a picky one?" She sniffed, and then she was gone. Uh-oh. Ooh, seems a little bit creepy. Was I being too picky? No. I knew that my monster needed to be well-clawed and menacing. Menacing means like bothersome. The whole point of having a monster, after all, was to keep me in bed, imagining all the scary stuff that could happen if I got out. That's when I heard a shuffling noise and some slobbering. A fourth monster was under my bed. "Hey, the name's Mac." One look at his claw proved that Mac was a big, scruffy boy monster. I shivered. Maybe this one would work out. "These are excellent claws, but do you have a large, long tail?" I leaned over to see. "No, my tail is stumpy," Mark slurped. "But I do have an unusually long tongue." "Why would I be afraid of a long tongue?" I asked. "Oh, I don't know," he said, trying to sound terrifying. "You never know when I might lick you." I fell back onto the bed, laughing. He's cracking up laughing at it. Look at him over here. Ah! "Well, if you're not even going to try to work with me," Mac whined, and I held in my giggles. "I really don't think you should send me away," he warned. "Kids who reject 5 monsters in one night." "I did not reject 5 monsters tonight," I interrupted. "My regular monster was fishing. Went fishing." "Fishing, eh? Maybe he just left because you're so picky. Fine, I'm out of here, but I wouldn't expect another monster if I were you." How was I ever going to go to sleep without my monster? I was surprised to hear creaking under my bed, loud with scratching. "I thought no monsters were going to appear tonight," I said. Sorry I'm late, kid. Whew! It was Gabe. I thought I would enjoy fishing, but I didn't, he explained. Those fish scare too easily. No challenge at all. You, however, are challenging, my friend. You're almost too old to be afraid of monsters. You keep me on my toes. Ah, toes, a delicious snack. The bed quivered as Gabe's stomach rumbled with hunger. Now, if you don't mind, I'd like to start the evening with an ominous puddle of drool. I peeked over the edge. Green ooze spread soundlessly from underneath the bed. Here's his big tail. He's under the bed. Then the bed trembled. It shook. Gabe unfurled his spiked tail. He was daring me to guess where he might pop up, and I shivered again. So, you had some substitute monsters tonight, Gabe said, sharpening his claws on my bedpost. Were you scared? Then Gabe started tapping. I could tell he wanted to know if I still needed him. No other monster can scare me like you, I giggled, diving under my covers and pulling them tight. Through the blanket, I heard Gabe's soft, comforting snorts. Ha! I knew it. We were made for each other, he growled. When my blanket started to slip off the bed, I knew Gabe was ready to eat. Now, if you could please stick out your foot, he said, I'd like to nibble on your pinky. I yanked my blanket back up and scrunched my feet so Gabe couldn't get them. No toes tonight, but you could have this, I offered, pushing a pillow off the bed. I didn't even hear it hit the floor. Gabe was back, the ooze was perfect, and everything was back to normal. I shivered again. I'd be able to sleep in no time. And here's Gabe under his bed. And there you have it. The book is I Need My Monster, and like I said, it's one of my favorites, so I hope that you enjoyed it too. Have a great day.